Okay, so I know I have made this video many times, but these videos, obviously I didn't go in too much in depth. So this video right here, I'm going to go in depth as much as I can. Okay, so first thing you want to do is go to this video, the one you're watching, scroll down and you'll see a Discord link, join the Discord. And then you want to find the chain thing, 3ds Max, like the chains, 3ds Max. Now I will be making them FiveM ready like I used to. It'll be around like 10 USD. No more, no less. But that'll happen after I get my shit sorted. But once you're in here, you want to go to this one, this Google Drive link, and then let it load. Press download. Download. It will take a little bit because it is 6 GB, but it'll be done in a decent amount of time. Now I already have it right here, extracted. Make sure you extract it from the zip file or the raw file, whatever it is, with WinRAR. And then we want to go into setup. And then we want to extract setup as well. So we extract. Now this one also will take a little bit because it's a decent size, but depending on the speed of your SSD or hard drive, it will be quick. Also, when you download the raw file, there will be a password, but the password is just 123. It's shown right here. Now I will. Okay, now it has extracted. We are in the folder, the setup folder. We just want to run setup.exe. Now, if you don't trust this, don't download it. Simple as that. I obviously trust it because I've used it so many times, so I'm going to download it. This one might also take a little bit, depending on the speed of your internet and stuff. But I'll come back when this is done. So we want to go next. You can install it to wherever you want. I'm going to just install it to the default location. Make sure they're all selected. Install. Now, this is the part that'll take a decent amount of time. Probably, it should only take up to like 30 minutes, but depends on the speed of your Wi-Fi at the time, you know. Okay, so once your download has finished, I would wait for this, but I can't be asked, so I'm just going to close it. But we want to go back here, and then we want to search 3ds Max. I'm going to pin it to start real quick, and then I'm going to open file location. We're going to do it once more. And then we should be in this kind of folder, and then we're going to go into the folder, crackfix zip, extract. Well, we don't have to extract this. We could just copy this, paste it in here, replace, continue. And once that's done, we should be able to open it. And you get this pop up. You just want to bloody press OK. Go to press continue. Go through the whole setup. Okay, so to install GIMS to 3DS, you need to go here to my Discord. I just posted this. You want to grab this. You want to extract. And then you want to open. You want to go to 3DS, open file location. Right click it one more time. Open file location again. And then we'll see this. We want to open this one. Open. And then we want to drag scripts. Don't open it. You don't need to. You can just drag scripts straight in here to the root directory. Replace if you have any. Continue. And then for this folder, we put in local app data. So we did it. App data. Windows R app data. Then we go back. Go local. Paste. Replace any. And then we can read these if you want to. Like the README should tell you how to install it. Blah, blah, blah. And then for this materials, we just grab these and we put them in like documents or some shit. I already have done that. It's right here for me. They are also in my Discord. I mean, they're in here and here, so you pick. And then you want to open 3DS. And then once everything loads, you should see this right here with GIMS Evo Max Paint. And then I want to click on this weird icon on GTA. And then it'll say you're looking for the material files. We press OK. Go to where we save them in documents, GIMS materials, select folder. And it'll open like this. It might take a second. Once it's done, you want to press import, and then we go to import teeth, which I put in documents. So teeth, import the ODD right here. And then we want to click on teeth underscore 13 underscore U, select folder. It'll load. Might take another little second. Okay, while this is loading, I just wanted to say I will end up making a tutorial on Blender only because that's what most people are using nowadays. Blender only, like it's easier. You just make your chain, export it all through Blender instead of downloading 3ds. But I currently only know how to use 3ds, and I'll have to learn Blender, and then I'll make one. Actually, while this is loading, we want to go to our chain file. So my chain, I just got one in here. So I'll go to chains, and then I've extracted it. This one. Then you want to make sure it looks something along the lines of this, and you know what. Really, we don't even need all this. We just need the ODD and the texture file. So we should have everything. Your texture should look something like this. And then there should be a ODD here. So you want to go to your chain file, and then your texture should look something like this. And from Blender, you will get a OBJ and an MTL, so you need them three. You don't need all this other shit. I may as well delete it. Okay, so once this is done, we can minimize this, just don't close it. And then we want to delete low and medium right here. And we can expand this one, so maximize, and then we zoom in a little bit. And then we want to go File, Import, Import, and then go to wherever our and then go to wherever our chain is stored, which mine is in my D drive. This chains winter only. Nope, that's winter chain, and then we want to get the OBJ, import, and then if it says can't find textures, we can add search path. Go back to wherever the textures are. And if I select this, and it says it still can't find textures, just skip, 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 skip. That just means like whoever made the chain, if you made it, someone else made it, just added too many textures, or like they didn't do it correctly. But we can add it here, and then it should look something like this, just like regular default bog standard chain. Okay, so now we got to attach the chain, which we can press front, we can press U, so we can like zoom in without it disappearing. And then we want to click on the existing chain, which is this like default one. We want to go up on the top right to this weird like angular thingy. Go to editable mesh, make it an editable mesh. Press the little box icon, press attach, attach the new chain. Hopefully you joined it all in Blender, so it's easy. And then we want to scroll down, and we just want to delete the old one, which would be all of the which would be these ones. So just this first one, we want to delete it. Old chain is gone. And then we can basically just get to doing the actual chain part and making it glow and stuff. Okay, so now we want to select all the parts that we don't want to glow. So if we had a look at the chain before, which I didn't, I would have seen like here is maybe blue or something. But let's say I don't. So I don't want this to glow, and then you hold control and just select whatever. So like this. And then you can move your camera with your middle mouse button. So we select this, like these letters, just so only down here glows, like I think it's blue or something. I didn't really look at the chain. But and then like we want none of this to glow, so we have to select it all. This is a tedious task. It would be easier to do it in Blender, but I just like 3ds, so. Or we can also get rid of this arrow thing so we don't accidentally move the chain. We could just press select object and continue. So now if you don't really, so now just for the sake of this tutorial, I'm just gonna quickly select everything to make this quick. Some of it will glow, some of it won't. I'll just select some of this shit. And then so now all this set to ID 1. So we go to set ID, we set it to 1, and then everything else like this. We wanna go and set everything else to ID 2. So 2, just everything that isn't 1. That isn't what we don't want to glow. So the pink shit here will glow, the pink stuff, and everything that is not pink won't glow. I mean, the pink stuff here won't glow, and everything that's not pink will glow. Oh, I didn't click on it. So for ID1, we want to go select ID1, make sure it's selected here. And then for color, set green to 185, set to 0, set blue to 0, set illumination to 0 in value, and alpha to 0. And then for the part that does glow, so for the part that glows, which is number 2, we want to change green to 185. That's it. Illumination and alpha also to 0, also to illumination and alpha also illumination and alpha also to 0 like we did on the last one. And then while this is selected, we want to click on skin. And then skin might take a second to load. And then we want to click on spine 3. We want to click edit envelopes, click vertices. And then we want to select literally everything, make sure everything is selected. We can rotate the camera and have a look and make sure. Once everything is selected, you want to scroll down on the left here, click on this wrench. And then we want to make sure it has 1 weight. And then now to do the materials to make it glow and actually like function. So we can close this. We can click on 3ds here. We click on this. We click material editor. And for 1, we go to options. We want both of these to be paired. Set your bump texture. Now for these textures, we want to go back for the textures. We want to go back to my Discord. You see spec map, normal map, chuck them in a folder together, and then I gotta find the folder obviously real quick. So we go here, go to here, and then I have them in maps. So the first one is normal. The bump texture is normal. The spectacular texture is the spec map. So we want the bump map to be the normal map. The diffuse texture is your chains texture, so it'll be like, for example, chains, this, and then the chain texture. And then if you look at the chain, it should now have some sort of texture on that. And then this spec map, I've already set that. And then for bumpiness, we go past the O, press 810. We don't have to add the 0, but I just do. For spectacular fall off, we do 1997. For this one, we delete 97, we're at 4500. Spectacular intensity is 20. And then for the wind, we want to turn both of these things all the way down. And then we can move on to number 2. We can convert to GTA, set to ped. Wherever ped is. Now we want the bottom one to be ped emissive instead of ped, like not the same thing, ped emissive. And then the same thing, set the bump texture. So normal map, the spec map, and then the chain texture right here in the diffuse map, which will be and then we have everything. We can look at the chain. You can see that it will have the purple stuff, but the purple stuff you will not be able to see the actual texture unless it's in FiveM. So then we want to set the bumpiness to 810 again. Set the spec fall off to 1997. Set this to 4500. And then for the intensity, instead of whatever I set it at, we set it to 10 this time. And then for the wind, we just want to turn it all down so it doesn't shake around. Now we can close this. We can export. Now you want to export it to somewhere you're obviously going to remember. So I'm just going to go in here and do this. Do test and then select. Now, if it doesn't start, it might just take a second to start exporting. So it might like do this depending on the size of your chain. And it's also going to take a decent amount of time to export depending on the size of your chain and depending on how many like polygons and how good your PC is and stuff. So it should look like this, and then you don't worry about all this shit. It just tells you the size of it and memory usage and stuff. We want to just press continue. It might take a second again. I do recommend doing this in Blender just because how long it takes to like do this kind of shit. Like do like the actual, because you need a lot of RAM to export this and stuff. But personally for me, 3DS is just easier. I've like used it most of the time I've ever made chains. But I will make a Blender tutorial once I learn it. I'll do a couple chains in Blender before I make the tutorial just so I know what to do. But make sure everything is selected here. Continue. Now this part is going to take a long time because your chain might be big. Your chain might be, if it's small, it will take a lot less time. But this chain is a decent size, so this might take a long time. I'll come back to you when it's done. Actually, while it's exporting, we want to go here. And then we have all this, so we can actually put the chain into a FiveM server. Okay, so while this is exporting, actually, we can get the FiveM stuff ready. So we want to open this, just so we have the names and stuff of what we need to name everything. And then you want to download OpenIV, which is just a simple OpenIV download. And then you don't want to go to OpenIV.com. It doesn't work sometimes. We want to go into the GTA 5 mods and then download this. which I've already done. Open it. Press Windows. It will ask you for where your GTA is located. If you have it on Steam, you should just be able to go this, wherever you downloaded it. Select folder, and then it should say it's found it. We can press continue. And then we want to make a simple folder just anywhere on our PC called Chain, where we can like drag and drop. So I'll just make it Chain 1. And once this is started, we want to grab Chain 1, drag it here so we have an empty archive. Okay, and then we want to turn on edit mode, make a new YTD right here, texture dictionary, and we want to name it the YTD right here, everything before it, for male or female, whatever like you want. And we want to paste the name, bang, it should open it. Top left it'll show import. We want to import the texture from the original like directory, so chain winter only or whatever, winter chain, and then it should look something along the lines of this, and then we press save, and then we wait for our chain to be done in 3ds, which will take a decent amount of time, like I've said many times. Okay, so it'll look something like this, and then you can just like, you can either close it. I'm gonna just leave it open just for this case, just in case something went wrong. So then we want to go to wherever we downloaded the chain to, or like exported it to. So I exported it in here, and we have, no. So now we want to go to where we exported the chain to. I exported it in here, test, and then we'll have these files. We want to just grab the ODD and drag it into this folder. And then once it's finished, it'll be a YDD. And then you'll see the chain here with whatever glows will be pink, so you can see if it's all correct. We cannot view the texture in here. Oh yeah, we can. So we can view the texture in here. Sometimes you can't, but in this case we can, so we can see that it all looks decent. You can't see the shine in here, unfortunately. But then we just want to name it whatever this name is, the YDD name. And now it should be good for the server, but I will show you how to install it to like a test server or something real quick. Okay, so let's say you want to install it to your own test server. We just want to go to resources, make a new folder called chains, because you can do multiple chains. And then we want to make a new folder in here called stream and FX manifest. And then we want to edit the FX manifest with everything here. Change the name to FX manifest.lua. Not full caps. I don't think it matters, but just in case, I just do it lowercase. And then in stream, we can just chuck these two files. And then you want to go to your server config. And then make sure it's down here as start chain, and it's all capitalized correctly and stuff. We can check the name in here, chain. So make sure it's like this, and then we can go ahead and join the server. Okay, so now while we load in this server, we want to take note of this. This is _1, so this will be the first chain of your. Okay, so once we're in the server, I do have V menu, so I just press M, but depending on your menu, it might be different. So we want to go to player options, create male character, and then we should be able to go to scarf and chains, and it should be the first one, because that's what I set it to. Now it is a bit shiny. I think you can change it, but I just haven't bothered to experiment too much with it. But you can make it less, and if we go somewhere dark, we can see the glow. So I could set it to nighttime, but I just like to go here because it's like pitch black just about. So if we go a little bit down here, it'll all turn black, and we'll see that everything I selected does glow in the dark. Now, once again, I do suggest doing Blender, and I will make another tutorial on it once I figure out how to do Blender myself. But for now, just use the 3ds tutorial. It's not that hard. It's pretty easy once you have the chain made. But yeah, I will be making chains too for 10 USD later in the week, or like after I make this video. So yeah, just make a ticket or something if you want your chain done, and make sure you like and subscribe and have a good day.